One of the things that I'm so thankful for is the fact that I have retrospect. I have retrospect. And I appreciate my retrospect. I appreciate the fact that I've collected so much footage. And yes, from the moment that I entered onto this stage, let's just say, onto this stage, my assessment and analysis of it, from the data that I picked up from 0 to 5, hasn't been altered. It's still there. It's still very much there. And that's why it really irritates people when I say to them, I'm 5. It really does. They're like, oh, well, and I'm like, I'm 5. And they're like, no, seriously. I'm like, I'm 5. Like, what is it that's confusing about that? If somebody says to you they're 5, then they're 5. If you cannot interpret that because you only have one fucking channel, you have only one channel, then that's not my problem. But going back to subject, yeah, the retrospect, the footage. You know, I have, you know, when I go through my own photo album and my own diaries, and my own movies and all of my art, I'm like, wow, I have myself like cringing. I have myself. I have my present self looking at my other self like and crying. I have my other selves just being like, yeah, go on, girl. You know, like I've got all myself, and all my selves are just like, you know, totally entertained. Totally entertained. I entertain myself. I'm in awe with myself. I look at the characters, or I look at, not the characters because I am that character still. I look at my performance in that room. I look at my performance in that stage, on that set, in that costume, and I'm like, rounds of applause, standing, brava, 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 you know. So it's not. It's bigger than YouTube. It's bigger than Instagram. It's bigger than BBC. It's bigger than Black Rock. It's just you know, it's bigger than that. So much bigger than that. And I get it. I get why there was this blockage and this irritation with so many people that I've had to interact with, because they've only got one stage. They're only performing on one playhouse. Let's put it that way. They're not performing in multiple playhouses and, you know, multiple stages and multiple sets with multiple different, you know, they just got what they got. They just got what they got. But what got me is, rather than shutting your mouth and looking and seeing and being in a position, having a heart posture. Posture is so important. You could be wearing the most beautiful jewels and having the most beautiful gown or whatever it is that you feel really beautiful in. But I'm telling you something, if your posture is bent, then you just look bent. He didn't have to turn it down. It was okay. Seriously. It doesn't matter. It's always about your heart posture. It's always about the way how you position yourself, how you stand, where your feet are placed, breath, engaging, being present, and go. And perform. And do. Because this is what it's about. And you go and you wear these different hats and you put on these different costumes and you play these different parts. And that's one of the things that I'm so thrilled about, is that I played so many different roles. I was Rumpelstiltskin, then I was the Pied Piper, then I was I don't know, I think I was like a dancer in a, was it about the boys? And then I was, the Good Witch in the Wizard of Oz, and then I'll play Dorothy, and I'll tell you more about that story another time. You know, and breathe, and and take it easy on yourself. Or is it make it easy? Take it easy. Make it easy on yourself. Walking down the street in your space. I've got my own soundtrack going on. I've got my own, stuff going on. And it was learning how to incorporate the the kind of like, hold on a second, I'm the director, I'm the producer, I'm the composer, I'm the costume designer, I'm the set designer, I'm this, I'm also the character. And then something will come along and you have a play and it's just like, right, your family's gonna be like, pop that in there. Why are you on my set? How are you going to respond? It's like it's like a living play. And that's what came to me today. I was just like, literally, I was just like, play. It's a living play. It's a living, breathing, everyday play. Breaking up is so hard to do. So make it easy on yourself. And it has to be the experience and the communication that we give and we share in this brilliant tapestry of life, of existence, has to be integral, or it's just not gonna go up. It's not gonna form. It's not gonna congulate. It's not gonna mesh. Because it's gonna be like, and it's just gonna, and I'll just go in another little, like, okay, right, let's put you in your little edit, but okay, scrap that. It goes into the delete bin because it has to be integral. Your responses and your communication has to be integral. You cannot continue to participate in this genius of existence. I mean, being totally average. You know what I mean? And even when you have to play the average role, because that was a lot of my role, just be average. Be average. You have to be totally average, okay? In fact, you need to just be just a little few marks below average, because you, my darling five, are very much aware that this is just one fucking stage. And this is just one set. And you have already performed on multiple stages, on multiple sets, in multiple playhouses. And I recognised, I was reminded, because it's not the fact that I'm actually learning anything anywhere, anytime. It's the character or the position or the costume or the set that I'm in that spiral, in that sequence, impacts the way that I move. My movement, my electrical current movement, it impacts. However, it's not there to impact to the point where I completely blow up all of my foundations and really harness on to it because it is real. And this word real, I mean, how is that even the word to use when describing what it is that we are experiencing every day? How? How? You know, when I was given Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way book by a friend of mine that I was collaborating with when at a particular time, and I read it, and it was just like I was reading my own stuff. That's how it feels. It feels like everything that comes towards me is already what I've written, is already what's in my library, in my Alexandria, because Alexandria is a consciousness. Alexandria is a concept. Alexandria is something that is still there, and it is there in me, and it's not burnt. Hello, it didn't burn. I am Alexandria, darling. I am Alexandria. Moi. And all of the different people you get to play and talk and move and do and this and that and that and that and that and that and that. And then the audacity of people, you know, these kind of things, oh, you got this and you got that. And you're looking at a person who's there trying to write you or read you, let's just say, and you're just like, really? Really? Really and truly? Look at your teeth. Look at your teeth, man. You're telling me about my mind. You're telling me about my sanity. And look at your teeth. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's nuts. And that's the footage that I share, and that's the communication that I give off. And it's not about whether or not it's right or wrong, or people like it or don't like it, or it's a bit or this or a bit or that, and it's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with the fact that it's integral, and it's mine. It's mine, and it belongs to me. It belongs to me. It is mine. So yes, I am that precocious 5-year-old that nobody likes around because they ask the uncomfortable questions that, you know, makes it all the adults, because you must remember, when you are an adult, you are corrupted. When you become an adult, you are compromised. You can be used. And adulting can happen at any time of your existence. Anytime. So do not adult. Do not adulting. Do not be anything adulted or adultwood or adulterated or adulteration or adultery or anything that's about adulting. Scrap it. Just scrap it. The first time I started to use the word fuck was when I was about 8. And I wasn't allowed to use words like that. I wasn't allowed to use words like stupid or fool or idiot. You know, it was very much don't talk like that. You know, we weren't allowed to use words. Very, very specific about words. Very, very specific, because that's the room I was in. That was the room that I knew, that was my room. That was my tailored room. Language and words. And this is a foreign language to me. This tongue that I'm speaking as a foreigner. Because I know I don't even need to open my mouth in order to communicate what it is that I want to communicate. you do, at the same time, because people, not everybody has the channel. Not everybody has that intelligence. So yeah, I moved to a new school because I moved to a new area, and I just couldn't believe how great that word sounded. And I'm not saying that you should use words like that, but what I am saying is that I am so incredibly thankful that I never, ever, ever get to be an adult. And everyone, it's different. Everyone is different. For some people, it's like, oh, my dreams were this, and my dreams were that, and my promises were this. Like, it was like, please, no matter what happens, don't make me be an adult. I don't want to be an adult. I just don't. I don't. I just don't like it. It's just not for me. It's just not. And then I just get to play and experience everything new all the time, new and old. Old and new, new and old, fresh and this and then this, and because nothing has a name yet, but it does have a name somewhere. Nothing has a concept yet, but it is a concept somewhere. It's like that. It's totally like that. Seriously. Um, because we can go on and 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 on. Because it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. It's about the quality. It's about modesty. Quality and modesty. Quality, modesty, humility. Quality, modesty, humility, and honesty, and authenticity. It's about the flow and the weave and the down and the and all of the perfect synchronicity. And it's just like, my brain, it's too brilliant. It's too brilliant. I spent so much time really wanted to connect, really wanting to share how I experience existence. And I did, and it was totally rejected. But then I realised that I still had to continue, only because I realised. But the thing about it is that it was a different stage. The stage was completely different. When you've had other stages, you've been in other sets, you've performed in other playhouses, and everyone's like, "Rah, you're great, you're amazing, oh!" And then you perform on this stage, and everyone's like, "Boo, get off the stage!" Like that one that's like, "Boo," and you're just like, why are they booing me? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm great. Why is the audience, and why are the actors and the characters not responding to me and not having the same kind of energetic experience, even if it's not the energy that they need to have, or we're all having the same exact energetic or frequency experience at the same time? The fact that it's harmony, why is there this resistance of harmony? So the themes are the themes, and the themes change according to the genre, and the signs and signifiers change according to the theme. And you know, sometimes you have to almost like go back and reteach yourself. It's like wax on and wax off. It's wax on. It's like, oh, I'm going to completely lose myself right now. I'm just going to go into lost, no me mode. But then I realised that, oh, okay, why would everyone or anyone have the same experience as me when I'm fucking great? Like, there is no other being that is like me. And there's no other being that wants to be me in the group of exceptional beings. You know? Exceptional beings don't want to be me. And exceptional beings don't want me to be them because there's no envy there. There's no envy there. There's no covetousness there. It's just like, wow, you had me at the edge of your seat there. That was a brilliant performance. That was great. And then you're like, thank you. Thanks. I really was there, you know. I really, really put it in. I really, you know, did it.
There's a guy. Oh. What? There's a snake. No, I'm for real this time. How do you know it?
And then you go in, and then you have only one channel. After you have multiple channels. And people think they've got like Sky TV, I've got Sky TV, I've got Netflix, I've got YouTube, I've got this, I've got that, I've got radio, I've got blah, 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 and you don't, you just have one channel, you know, and you can see that you've only got one channel because for the last fucking 20 years, mate, you've been doing the same fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, what made it so difficult? Because, and these are the questions I had to ask myself in terms of the topic of receiving, is that the reason why it was a challenge because it's you lot's first rodeo. This is you lot's first time of all the planets, all retrograde, all manifestation. Oh, I can manifest. Oh my gosh, I can manifest. Like, okay, don't flip and piss your pants over it. Do you know what I mean? Of course you can. Oh, we've got the power to heal ourselves, and stars and frequencies, and you know, E equals MC squared, and Tesla, and you know, the dark forces, and occultism, and it's just all very new to you. Your responses and your reactions communicate the fact that this is something that you obviously have not danced with before or played with before. It's all very new, you know. And for me, it was like, okay, right. So what have I got here to learn? And there's you know, this thing about was in and was out, and was out and was in and was in and was out. And the truth of the matter is that learning. If you're not upgrading, learning isn't upgrading your you can say your iOS. That's what learning is. You know, you just and you upgrade it and you just keep it moving.
Mommy, you're supposed to get that.
And when you're in your room, when you're in that room and you're on that set and you got the costume on, you perform and you give it and you give it as you, and then you go back. And then you go back because you're also the screenwriter. Yeah, you're also the playwright. And you go like, scrap that, I don't like that line. The next time that planet comes around again, I'm going to say it like this. This is how I'm going to give that line. This is how I'm going to give this reply. Because I'm not going to give the response like that. I'm going to take her out of that costume. I'm going to let her wear that costume. I'm going to put that prop over there. I'm going to change the lighting. I'm going to da-da-da-da. And this is the mood. This is what I'm going to give this time. And the fact that we can even do that, do you know what I mean? That's the depth of how I think. Because I'm not shallow or fickle.
Move it, you fool.
You know? However, at times you have to be the fool, be the sacred clown. Be the sacred clown. And in the meantime, don't tell me not to. What is it again?
Don't tell me not to. Wait, don't tell me not to. Oh, it's free now.
Don't tell me not to. Now I simply got to If someone tastes a spill, it's me and not you. Don't bring around your cloud to rain on my parade. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Don't bring around your cloud to rain on my parade. And you give thanks for all of the other beautiful works of art and beautiful works of, of creation that, throws you into that set and lets you play around with a different kind of character and make you have resemblances to that character and this character and be like, oh, I can see myself in a bit of this character, I can see myself in a bit of that character. But the point of it is not to be those and not to idolize them and not to morph yourself into them. The point is to recognize a resemblance and see, wow. However, the way I do it is the way that I do it. And this is all in motion. This is not even in the silence. This is only motion. This is only motion world, because motion world and silent world are two different worlds almost.
Do you hear that?
You know? Being an adverb rather than a noun